Hey everyone, I hope you guys are all doing well. In this video, I'll be celebrating hitting YouTube partner by doing a setup tour and Q&A. So firstly, let's get started with my setup tour. As you can see, in this corner sort of area in my room, I have both of my desks and all of the things that I use to create content and stream from. I use 3 monitors running across my desk, which is extremely useful when streaming. The monitor to the furthermost left is a 2K monitor, and the other monitors are 1080p. Usually I'll have Discord or Chatterino open on my separate monitors, and my main task or whatever I'm doing on my PC on my main monitor. So the first thing that you'll see is my Asus ROG Flow X13 gaming laptop. This is something that I actually got very recently, and I was actually able to snag it for half the price. I haven't specifically used this to stream yet, but the specs on it are really great for the price that I got it. It has an AMD Ryzen 9 processor, 6900HS, and an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3050 Ti. It also has 16GB of RAM, and a 1TB SSD included. The interesting thing about this laptop was that it was actually originally on Windows 11, but I downgraded it to Windows 10. And surprisingly, Windows Update was actually able to find all of the drivers that were compatible for it. I might consider upgrading to Windows 11 in the future on my PCs, but right now, I have absolutely no reason to do that. This mouse is the Corsair Dark Core RGB Pro. I really like this mouse as it's wireless, and having a wireless mouse in general is just really nice. Now, as you can see, it is currently plugged in and charging. Over here, you'll see my Corsair K70 keyboard with linear switches. I think this keyboard is pretty decent, however, I do think I'm going to probably upgrade to a tactile switch keyboard in the future. Also, I've had some issues with the volume rocker and the RGB not working properly, but at the moment, actually, I have rainbow RGB as you type. As for the headphones I use, they're actually just Apple AirPods. I do want to upgrade these and use an actual gaming headset in the future, but we'll see what happens with that. By the way, in case anyone's curious, I'm recording this with my Google Pixel 6a's camera. On top of my primary monitor, I actually have my sensor bar, which I have mounted with Velcro. As you can see on my primary monitor, I have my Twitch dashboard open at the moment. My dashboard's pretty simple. I basically have chat, stream info, and a stream preview, as well as my activity feed. Also, on Twitch, I really like to use the Frankerphase extension, as it has a lot of helpful features and a ton of extra emotes that you can use, so I highly recommend that you actually check that out. And down here is actually my stream deck, which I also got relatively recently. This is really helpful when it comes to streaming. Basically, on the first page, I have my PC specs and my favorite people who I follow. I have controls for OBS, I have commands and chat, and I also have all my emotes programmed into it as well. So yeah, it's pretty useful, but I don't think it's one of those first things that you really need while streaming. It's definitely one of those things which is better to wait for once you actually get some Twitch experience with you. Also, over here I have a wallet case in which I keep adapters, SD cards, just small things like that. And now, let's take a look at my PC. So, on the front of my PC, I actually have 3 RGB fans. They do look really cool. Over here to the side, we have my CPU cooler. It is a Cooler Master cooler. Now, if you guys remember my old setup tour, I actually had a pretty mediocre Dell pre-built PC. However, I built this PC around a year ago. Inside, it has an AMD Ryzen 7 5800 8-core processor, 16 gigs of RAM. It has a Gigabyte X570 Aorus Elite ATX AM4 motherboard, and an NVIDIA GTX 3070 GPU. I definitely don't need a dual PC setup or anything around those lines right now. Also, as you can see, this entire table is basically separate for all of my consoles and my PC. This is an IKEA table, which I might upgrade in the future, but right now it's okay. I actually just upgraded the desk, which I have all of my peripherals and my monitors on. Over here you can see my microphone. It is a Blue Snowball. It has worked great for the last 3 years. I've had 0 issues with it, but I also might upgrade this in the near future. Shoutouts to Studio Yuki for sending that to me, by the way. And over here you can see my consoles. So this Black 30S looks pretty normal, however, it actually has a capture card built into it. I got this capture card from Delfino Customs. I know Loopy is back in stock, which is crazy at the moment, but he's only doing new 3DS XLs, I think. for the near future. With my 3DS capture card, I actually record the audio with the video. Now, it's not really that recommended to do it because it can eat up bandwidth sometimes, but I've had zero issues with that. I actually had to send this 3DS off to the UK to get it modded. And to the right over here is my personal 3DS. Now, I personally am a huge fan of the small new 3DS models. I love that you're able to have all the new 3DS capabilities, but I also love how portable it is. It's just so much nicer in my opinion compared to the XLs. One thing that I've noticed with 3DSs in general are the smaller ones are harder to break, but they're harder to repair. And in comparison, the XLs are a lot easier to break, but in general, I've had an easier time repairing. So as you can see, I have screen protectors installed. I have 2 layers of skins on the bottom portion of the 3DS. The plastic on this 3DS model especially is really susceptible to getting a bunch of marks and weird sort of shininess on it, and I wanted to prevent that as much as possible. So the 2 skins that I have are the carbon fiber skin and the Kingdom Hearts skin, which you can't even get anymore. I was super lucky that I was able to snag that one. I also have a plastic shell on the outside just to make sure it is fully protected. So yeah, this 3DS might be kind of overly protected, but it's better to be safe than sorry in my opinion. And over here you can see my Wii U gamepad. My Wii U is set up to play NES, SNES, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, N64, GameCube, Wii, DS, and of course Wii U games, all directly bootable from the Wii U menu. On my Wii U, I mostly use the Wii U Pro Controller for supported games, as well as my Wii Remote when I'm playing older Wii games. Also, if you look a little closer on my Wii U, I actually have a carbon fiber skin. The plastic on the Wii U is really glossy, which makes it a huge pain to clean and gets a million scratches, so this is a really great way to prevent those from happening. Also to the left of my Wii U, I have my Switch. I have a black skin on it, as well as a screen protector, just to make sure that it remains in as pristine condition as possible. I mostly use my Switch in docked mode, and I will usually just use my Pro Controller, as that I feel is the most comfortable way for me to play games on it. My Joy-Cons are actually still in the box, and of course over here you can see my Xemnas plush. This thing's really rare, and I was actually somehow able to get it from a plush website. So yeah, for those who wanted a face reveal, there it is. On my desk I have my Wii U Pro Controller, my PS5 DualSense controller, even though I don't have a PS5, my Switch Pro Controller, and lastly my Wii Remote. I also keep an extra stylus on hand in case I ever need it. Also in the corner of my desk behind my PC, I have my capture card and my HDMI splitter. Basically, the HDMI splitter will detect whether my Wii U or my Switch is on, and it will capture the gameplay from those. The output goes into my monitor, and the capture card itself gets powered by my PC. This capture card is great. I have been using it for the last 3 years. I got it for $30 and I have had zero issues with it. I have not needed to upgrade to an expensive capture card like an Elgato capture card yet. And technically with this capture card, I'm pretty sure you can play off OBS, but I just never do that myself. I know Elgato has some nice features such as being able to go right into your PC and be internally connected to it, but I just haven't had a reason to upgrade. So my motto when it comes to my capture card is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Below my desk over here, I actually keep a plastic box. In this box, I just keep extra hard drives, cables, screen protectors, all that sort of fun stuff goes in here. In this box, I also actually have an IPS 3DS screen, which hopefully one day I'll have the guts to switch it to my 3DS. By the way, in case anyone was curious, both of my 3DSs have PN displays. I don't mind it as much with the capture card 3DS because I'm usually only seeing that in the capture card software itself. With my personal 3DS though, with the small black new 3DSs, very few of them I think had IPS screens, and I think none of them from the Super Mario Edition had IPS screens. And over here you can see my Wii U box with all included documentation. I also have my first 3DS box of the 3DS that I went through in my last video, and I also have my black New Super Mario 3DS box, in a box protector of course. And over here is my cable management. It's alright, it could be worse. The sensor bar is pretty tricky to cable manage, I think. I have my extension down here, and I also have this really neat Ethernet expander which goes into all my consoles. So yes, even my Wii U gets Ethernet because the internet up here especially is really bad. And over here on top of my Nintendo Switch box, which is kind of hiding behind my plastic box, I have my Switch Pro Controller box, as well as the official Ethernet adapter, and also my keyboard armrest, as I felt like my keyboard was taking way too much space on my desk. And also I actually think it's more comfortable and I type a lot better without the armrest. And over here in the second box, I actually keep all my eBay materials. So yeah, basically bubble wrap, scissors, tape, labels for customers. And I also have my flat rate small millers that I keep as well. Which, by the way, is not stealing. It's not. I pay for the miller when I ship it out with the label that I buy from eBay. So just pointing that out in case anyone was worried. No, I'm not stealing from USPS. Also, I wanted to talk about my chair pretty quickly. It's honestly just a generic office chair, but honestly, it works great and I have had zero issues with it. I've actually heard of more issues with gaming chairs than just regular basic chairs. So maybe I'll upgrade it in the future, but it's really not something that I feel like I need to upgrade at the moment. One thing I do want to mention before I wrap up is this setup took years to build. If you guys watched my last setup video, the improvement is like insane of what I've been able to accomplish in just 1 year. I wanted to let newer creators know that you should work with what you have. I started streaming from a crappy 2011 MacBook Pro. There are so many good free programs that you can use, such as OBS Studio. So my best advice is to try to build your audience on Twitch and use the payout money that you get from your supporters in order to get things over time. A lot of the things that I got, I actually saved up for. So for example, for my PC, I saved up money and I waited for deals to come by. So for example, for my graphics card, actually, I got my graphics card with my 2K gaming monitor. Alright, so that's about it for the setup tour. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know a lot of people were interested in seeing my updated setup. Now let's move on to the Q&A. Alright, so first question from Peruto is, OxyClean or Clorox? I say go with Clorox. Iadi asks, what's your favorite console? My favorite console is the 3DS, hands down. It has so many great games on it, and the interface is great, and it just really is my favorite console. I have a lot of great memories with the 3DS. Senator and Sam, Logicism, and Daz ask, what got you into starting streaming? So I found Twitch through a YouTube user, Biscuit047. So I found his content on there, and I realized that he wasn't like super active on YouTube. Like, he has a YouTube schedule very similar to how I put out YouTube videos. So I found his Twitch channel. I was like, oh, this site's really cool. It's like a site where you can live stream and see content live. So I ended up creating an account, and you know, I fell in love with Twitch, and then I really started to enjoy Twitch. So in May of 2020, I decided to start up my own Twitch channel and start streaming on there, and that's kind of what got me into starting streaming. Biscuit047 and a few other content creators. I guess I'll list off a few. The Gamers Joint kind of also inspired me a lot. Skyward Wing, his videos were hilarious. Sora Alam 1, those guys are amazing. Blue Pikmin asks, do you plan on making any videos on Switch homebrew? So if you guys actually didn't know, my Wii U and my 3DS are both homebrewed or have custom firmware on them. However, my Switch is not homebrewed. I personally am just not that interested in Switch modding because it just doesn't have a lot of features in my opinion. I know you can install a Linux environment on your Switch, you can back up saves, you can install themes, but I think I'm going to wait to mod my Switch probably towards the end of its lifespan. I think I mentioned this in my last video going through my 3DS, but when the 3DS came out, the exploits were always getting patched and stuff, and that's why I feel like it's always the best time to wait towards the end. For example, Sound Hacks I think got patched a little bit after it was released. I don't hate Switch modding, but both my Wii U and my 3DS are my virtual console machine, and there's no injects on the Switch. Basically on the Switch you have RetroArch, and that's pretty much it when it comes to playing virtual console games. I hope that makes sense and clears it up a little bit. Preewee asks, what was your first contact with video games? So long story short, I guess my first contact with video game consoles was the Nintendo Wii. My dad got me and my brother a Wii, and we used that. Played a lot of games on there. Wii Sports, we play, of course, Mario Kart Wii, Super Mario Galaxy, New Super Mario Bros. Wii, all those classic Wii games we played on there. So I guess that was my first contact with video games. Max asks, what is your first memory as a baby or a child? Probably preschool. That's the first thing that comes into my head. Blue Pikmin asks, what got you into console modding? So our Nintendo Wii that my dad got us, my brother ended up getting homebrew on there, and I think the main reason was so that he could like use cheats in New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but he had the Wii modded. And then later on, when I had his Aqua Blue 3DS, I showed him some modding stuff, and he helped me mod the Aqua Blue 3DS, so big shoutouts to my brother. Blue Pikmin also asks, have you ever bricked a console? I have done it on purpose, but never on accident. If you're not doing anything extremely stupid, it's hard to brick a console. So yeah, I've done it like on purpose. I've done it as a joke, like the blue screen on your 3DS, like I've done that just for fun, but I have never bricked a console beyond repair. Nath asks, who do you main in Mario Kart? I usually main Toad. Frederick and Elio ask, what are your future plans in content creation? Basically, I want to continue what I'm doing now. I want to make 3DS modding guides as well on my channel, as I haven't gotten around to that yet. I want to continue doing my level 100% playthroughs and playing a bunch of Nintendo games on my Twitch channel as well. So basically, yeah, just continuing what I'm doing right now. That's pretty much it. I do want to do more collab streams and just get as interactive with my community on Twitch as possible. Max asks, are you the eldest, youngest, or brother in the middle? So, as you guys probably already heard, yes, I have an older brother, I'm the younger one. Nito asks, do you have any plans on making video game playthroughs on YouTube? Not currently. I don't know how many people would be interested in that. I know some other people have suggested it in the comments before, but I just don't know how much people would be interested in it. Maybe one day, but not right now. Maybe if I actually run out of modding stuff to create on my channel, which is probably unlikely, then I'll probably end up doing video game playthroughs, but probably not right now. Also, I just realized that I never really mentioned the YouTube side of things when it comes to how I got inspired to create content. There are some people who inspired me. I think Game in Canada, he's one of them, and also Statics on YouTube, him as well. Those are some modders for Wii U and 3DS that inspired me to create videos. My170 asks, what is your favorite Animal Crossing memory? I think just chilling and playing New Leaf on my 3DS. Like, New Leaf is so much fun. I've been replaying that recently and making my ultimate sound that I've never gotten around to because burnout. Animal Crossing New Leaf is such a fun game. I think New Horizons is a decent game. I have enjoyed New Horizons. I have gotten a decent amount of enjoyment out of it. I played a lot of New Horizons. It is my most played Switch game, but I think New Leaf is always going to be on top for me. Just going out on the islands, hanging out with people on Club Tortimer, trying to make bells, all that sort of stuff, you know, really resonates with me when it comes to Animal Crossing. My170 also asks, what game character do you most closely identify with? I guess I'm just gonna go with Xemnas. I mean, he's cool, he's badass. Why not? Elio asks, what is your zodiac sign? So my birthday is on March 3rd, so I am a Pisces. Elio also asks, can we get a face reveal? Oh boy. I have had a couple of people actually ask me about this, and I've talked about it on stream quite a few times. So like, all jokes aside of me posting my Xemnas plush or whatever as a face reveal, I really enjoy the privacy with not showing my face to everyone. So I really enjoy streaming without a camera, and I just never have to worry about how I look, and it's just really chill. Now, as some of you do know, I am going to TwitchCon Las Vegas 2023. If you guys see me there, then yeah, you guys are going to see my face, but right now, I don't see myself doing a face reveal anytime soon. I like the mystery behind you guys not knowing how I look, so I hope that clears it up. Maybe one day, but not anytime soon. Josh asks, how does your involvement with Organization 13 affect your personal life and content creation? It must be very difficult to maintain a balance. Yeah, that's a lot of work to, you know, see what all the organization members are doing, personal life stuff, and then run the Twitch channel. It's so much work. But all jokes aside, the balance between personal life and content creation has been a struggle. I mean, it was a lot easier during the pandemic when I was just kind of able to stream after finishing my work for the day. Now it can be hard sometimes, which is why I only do weekend streams nowadays. Maybe I'll bring Thursday streams back. I've tried to be consistent with Thursday streams on YouTube, but that's really hard for me. I do try to make up nowadays by doing longer streams, 5 to 7 hours on weekends. Shirotsuru asks, what are your goals in life, like dream job, dream location to live, etc. My goals in life are pretty similar to what your guys' goals in life are. Basically, right now, I'm just working towards my undergrad and just focusing on that. But yeah, my goals are pretty generic like everyone else. Guy asks, what made you want to make Xemnas your online persona? So for those of you who don't know, my username before Xemnas was just my IRL name, Taha. When I became affiliated on Twitch, I created my first emote, which is my Zem Wave emote, and I just thought that Xemnas was a really cool character. I was like, man, I think I'm gonna really like Xemnas as my username. So I ended up changing it, and surprisingly enough, Data Xemnas was available at the time. I just think that Xemnas is a cool character, and he's my favorite character in Kingdom Hearts, and he's the final boss for Sora in Dream Drop Distance. So that's why I ended up going with Xemnas as my online name. CD Gamer asks, are you into Final Fantasy, and if so, do you have a favorite Final Fantasy game? I haven't played a Final Fantasy game before. It's a series I really want to get into, but it's kind of hard for me to get into because, like, I feel like I need to play every single game, but that's definitely a series I do want to try out in the future on stream. Guide Sorcery asks, if you could create a Keyblade based on any franchise, it doesn't necessarily have to be Kingdom Hearts or Disney, what would it be? Can I just say lightsaber? Because I wish Xemnas had, like, a lightsaber Keyblade. I think it would be super badass. So, I'm gonna go with a Xemnas lightsaber Keyblade. Tempest asks, have you made tier lists before about specific things, such as genres or breakfast cereals? So yeah, here and there for fun, I have. I actually wanted to make a tier list for Twitch badges, since no one's made one of those before. But you know, I've done tier lists for fun, like Mario Kart power-ups or areas in Mario and Luigi Partners in Time. Like, those are small tier lists I've done. I think also I've done some of those on stream here and there as well. Tempest also asks, what kind of content do you like using YouTube for? So for example, she likes using it for watching music, funny videos, news, and gaming vids. Pretty much the same for me. I literally use YouTube for watching music, funny videos, news, gaming, guides, all that sort of stuff. I do watch a huge variety of things, so it's kind of hard to narrow it down for me. Lastly, Tempest asks how the birds are and if we are friends. I think we get along better than we did a few years ago. I mean, I love them. I still haven't gotten comfortable with taking them out of the cage, but every once in a while I do try to treat them with, like, just fruits like apples or millet. So yeah, the birds are good, and I would say we're friends. Daz asks, what is your favorite Kingdom Hearts game and what is your least favorite? So yeah, I'm a pretty basic person. I like Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. Favorite Kingdom Hearts game for sure. My least favorite is probably Kingdom Hearts Union Cross or Dark Road. I'm just not a fan of Kingdom Hearts on your phone at all. Daz and Vlad Cabbage ask, what video game series do you want to get into but haven't yet? I would say Pokemon. Pokemon is a series I really want to get into. I think the games look really fun, but every time I've done a playthrough of a game, I've either gotten, like, burnt out midway, or, like, I just got lost. So it's definitely a series I want to do, because I know some people would really like to see me play that. Nito, I'm looking at you. But yeah, Pokemon is definitely a series I want to get into. And a few other Nintendo's IPs as well, maybe in the future. Like, I've heard Metroid is really good. I want to try that on. And Final Fantasy, as I mentioned earlier. Alright, so TSA asks, what is an embarrassing moment you would like to erase from your memory related to personal life or content creation? I would say my first YouTube video. It makes me cringe a lot to go back and watch that video, and I even said a few things of false information, which people were pissed at me in the comments. And some people also got mad at me for rambling and saying which I always cut out nowadays. So yeah, that's an embarrassing moment I would love to get rid of, but there was a lot of positive feedback on that guide, and I might end up redoing in the future, but I'll probably end up leaving the original guide up. TSA also asks, what's your favorite Kingdom Hearts track? This is a hard one. I love all the Kingdom Hearts songs. They're all so good. If I had to narrow it down to one, Dearly Beloved. And if you want me to narrow that further down, then Kingdom Hearts 2 Dearly Beloved. That song just always hits hard. I don't know why. Eric asks, what is your favorite game to speedrun? I'm currently on a hiatus from speedrunning, but I guess if I had to do a favorite, that would be Kingdom Hearts 0.2. It's a pretty short game, so it's a lot easier to learn, so if someone's looking to get into Kingdom Hearts speedrunning, I highly recommend starting with 0.2, as it's a very short game and runs are pretty much around 30 minutes each. Eric also asks, what's your favorite game to play casually? I've kind of gotten back into Minecraft after not playing it for a while. Fall Guys is also pretty fun. I do want to make a round for my YouTube and Twitch audience at some point, so yeah, that will be coming soon. And it won't be sub or member only, I promise. Inferno Joshua asks, what is your favorite childhood game? I feel like it would be very generic if I just blurted out Wii Sports, but I really don't know what other game I would say here. Wii Play was also a lot of fun, so I guess I'll just go with Wii Sports. Sorry for kind of generic answer. Inferno Joshua also asks, was there a moment in your streaming career where you thought nothing was going to happen, and how did you keep going? Yes. At the beginning, especially at the beginning of my channel, I really thought that I was not going to have anyone like me or enjoy my content, and that has changed drastically. I have an amazing community here on Twitch and also on YouTube. So yeah, there were moments, but you know, I kind of just pushed through it. And I don't know what else to say other than I just got lucky. I feel like I did get lucky in certain degrees and being able to build up such an amazing and supporting community on both Twitch and YouTube. If you went back in time and told me how much progress I've made, like almost hitting 600 followers on Twitch, I would not believe you at all. Having a lot of grit and motivation helped me get through those moments and helped me develop such an amazing community. Blitz says, are there specific games that you play when feeling certain ways, and why do you play those games? So I guess I'll tell a little bit of story about Animal Crossing New Leaf, even though I've talked about it a little bit already. Animal Crossing New Leaf is just so nostalgic, and it's an amazing game. And it does sadden me that the community for the game has really dwindled down, and most people have moved on to New Horizons. I would say nostalgia is a really heavy feeling when playing New Leaf. Another game that makes me feel really nostalgic is Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. I know Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance is very controversial, but it makes me feel really nostalgic to replay that, which I'm currently doing a level 100% playthrough on stream right now for that, believe it or not. But yeah, 3DS games in general just really hit me when it comes to nostalgia. And lastly, Wokey asks, if you could erase your memory for one KH game, which one would it be? I would say that goes to Kingdom Hearts 3. And I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 3, believe it or not, despite that also being kind of a controversial game. But I remember the night of just waiting and playing it for the first time. It was just like such a surreal feeling, because that game was so anticipated after so long. Mostly because of just the anticipation that went into Kingdom Hearts 3. So yeah, I would say Kingdom Hearts 3. Which in the future, I'm very excited to do a 100% level 1 playthrough of on Twitch. So yeah, believe it or not, that just wraps up all the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed the setup tour and Q&A. It's honestly crazy how much progress I've made on my channel in these last few years. It feels like it was just yesterday before I started my first Twitch stream and my first YouTube video, so it's honestly insane to have seen so many amazing people and have such a great and supportive community. I am so excited for the future of content creation and know that this is pretty much just the beginning of my channel on Twitch and YouTube. Really don't have that much else to say other than thank you guys for everything that you've done for these past few years. If you guys are new here and are still somehow seeing this video, make sure to drop a sub, I'd really appreciate it. Also, make sure to drop a like if you enjoyed this video, as it was a lot of work to edit. Make sure you guys are part of our community Discord server at disc.gg/Xemnas. By the way, discord.io died, so disc.gg/Xemnas is the new link. Also, make sure you check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/DataXemnas. I stream Kingdom Hearts 100% level 1 playthroughs and Nintendo games on there. I go live at 7 PM EST on weekends. I feel like I can't thank you guys enough for everything, but seriously, thank you guys so much for all your support, and I'll see you guys all later.